What's up, everybody? James Bushell here, and I'm here to bring you another video. I'm sure plenty of you watched on Sweet YFT's channel last weekend the Hypes Watch Dream of Season 6. In this video, we talked about how we, with the budget restraints and keeping it realistic as possible, how we would run Season 6. In this video, I will be rehashing the things I said, but for those who didn't see it, and for those who saw it too, I hope you enjoy what I have to say. So, in particular, I'm going to be talking about the things I would like to see in Season 6, and this is not predictive, because there's already been leaks and spoilers out, so obviously this is not going to happen, most likely, but this is how I would write Season 6. In these two particular places. Once again, Meereen and King's Landing. So let's get started with Meereen. In the beginning of in the events in Meereen, we'll cover between episodes 1 and 8, I will say. So, Dany will find herself being taken prisoner by the Dothraki. They tell her they know she is the Khaleesi of Khal Drogo, and that they are taking her back to Vice Dothrak with the Doth-Khaleen. She fights with them to no avail. However, Drogon comes down and roasts a few, and then they bow to her and tell her that they will fight for her. They head back to Meereen. Back at Meereen, Tyrion is struggling to rule Meereen. Missandei introduces a noble who is willing to help. And I'm introducing a new character here, and he's not in the show, but this is my vision. He introduces himself as Shakaz Mokandas, as other people would know him as the Shave Pate. He says that he has a force of men called the Brazen Beasts that are willing to help the city and fend off the Harpies. Varys early on says that he must leave Meereen, we'll say about episode 3-ish. Wishes Tyrion good luck, and tells him he will see him soon enough. The Shave Pate urges Tyrion that the best course of action is to start listening to the Harpies and to give in to their demands. Dario and Jorah run into the Khalasar led by Dany. Dany reluctantly allows Jorah to stay, and they head towards Meereen. At the same time, Tyrion receives word that Astapor is coming with a large host to take Meereen by force. Tyrion prepares for war with the Shave Pate. As war approaches, Tyrion puts the Shave Pate and the Brazen Beasts on defense duty inside the city, and orders Grey Worm and the Unsullied to engage the Astapori outside the city limits. This proves costly as the Brazen Beasts and the Shave Pate are revealed to be the Harpy. Luckily for Tyrion and Meereen, while the treachery is happening, Dany, Drogon, and her Khalasar arrive, while Tyrion slips away. Dany, Drogon, and the Khalasar smash the Astapori. However, Dario is killed during the fight. Tyrion, who slipped away, is being followed by the Shave Pate. Tyrion heads towards the Dragon Room. The Shave Pate, not realizing this, follows Tyrion. Tyrion releases Visceral and Rhaegal, and they proceed to burn the Shave Pate and tear his ass in half. Then they fly out of the dungeon and promptly wreak havoc all over the Harpies. At the conclusion of the battle, Dany states that it is time to go to Westeros, leaves a ruling council in Meereen, and boards her 93 ships. That was Season 4, they said that they captured the Meereenese fleet. And along with Tyrion, Grey Worm, Missandei, and Jorah, they head to Westeros. So those are my events in Meereen. Obviously, I added a new character, the Shave Pate. I highly recommend reading the Meereenese Blot. It goes into detail about how the Shave Pate might not be what he appears, and how he perhaps is pulling the strings in Meereen, a la Peter Baelish. I'll put that in the description. It's a highly recommend read. Now, the meat of my predictions came in King's Landing. So let's get started here. This is let's say about the first 3 episodes, the beginning of the season. We're going to start with Jaime coming back with the dead Myrcella. Cersei will scold him and begin her descent into madness. She sends him away and tells him not to show his face around King's Landing anymore. Kevin intercepts Jaime as he leaves, and he tells him that he needs Jaime to go to the Riverlands and to lift the siege at River Run. Jaime reluctantly agrees and leaves with Bronn. Of course, the buddy comedy will continue. We're going to see that Cersei has been stripped of power, and Kevin is the true power in King's Landing now. And he's doing a lot of he's doing a lot of things to right the wrongs of Cersei, and he's doing a good job at it. He's trying to mend the fence with the Tyrells, and he tells Lady Olenna and Mace that he's doing what he can to get Loras and Margaery out of captivity. We're then going to get Cersei's trial. It's going to be a farce of a trial. Lancel will testify against her with all of his knowledge. Then at the trial, we get Gendry. Remember back last season, Littlefinger told Lady Olenna in Season 5 that he has an ace in the hole, essentially. And that will be Gendry. He will testify that he is the bastard of Robert Baratheon, and that Lannister men were sent to kill him by Cersei because Robert's bastards were a threat to Joffrey's claim, since Joffrey is not of Baratheon blood. Cersei, staring at the face of this damning evidence, demands a trial by combat, very much akin to the way Tyrion did at his trial in Season 4. So middle of the season. We're looking, this is probably going to be, 4 to 6-ish, 4 to 7, episode 4 to 7. Cersei obviously is going to choose Sir Robert Strong as her champion. The High Sparrow mulls over his choice of a champion, and it shows him sending a letter out in correlation. And, well, in my Riverlands predictions, I brought up how Sandor is the gravedigger at the Quiet Isle. So, Sandor is alive. He is the gravedigger in the Quiet Isle. So, in correlation to what we saw in the Riverlands, we know that Sandor is alive as a gravedigger. When the letter gets to the Quiet Isle, the elder brother / Septon Maribald hybrid character tells Sandor that it's time to do his duty. Sandor pulls down his hood and picks up a sword, revealing that he is Sandor, hops on Stranger, and heads towards King's Landing. Yes, folks, Clegane Bowl is happening in my vision. Get hype. Valar Hype Gulas. So now we are going to end of season. Cersei gets word that the High Sparrow has picked his champion. She is very confident that she will be victorious because she has Sir Robert Strong, Undor Gregor, Franken Gregor, whatever you want to call him, but comes up with a contingency plan with Qyburn. Qyburn tells her if Sir Robert Strong loses, that everything will be taken care of. So we get to the trial by combat. And everything from here on, this is the last episode. It's very King's Landing centric. At the trial, we have all the major players there. We have Tommen, the High Sparrow, Sir Robert Strong stands in the middle of the ring waiting for his opponent. The High Sparrow introduces his champion. In steps the Hound. Cersei has a look of horror on her face as she realizes she is in deep shit. The following battle is an epic fight. At the end, it appears the Mountain is going to kill the Hound as the Mountain has him in a devastating chokehold. The Hound gets out of it, chops the Mountain's hands off, and chops half of his face off. The same half that is burnt on Sandor's face. Very poetic. Cersei, shocked, looks at Qyburn. The High Sparrow orders the Sparrows to seize Cersei. The Lannister men around Cersei engage in a battle with the Sparrows. Qyburn ushers Cersei away, and they descend through the secret passageways that Tyrion took to get out of King's Landing, and there's a boat waiting for her in Blackwater Bay. At the same time this is happening, we're getting an intercut of Kevin walking into the small council chamber. Here he sees Pycelle dead. Kevin rushes to Pycelle, and then turns around, where he gets a crossbow bolt to the chest. Varys looms over a dying Kevin, tells him he is sorry, but it had to be done, because he needs King's Landing to be in complete chaos, and that his competence as a military commander would be detrimental to his cause. Kevin, struggling to breathe, asks, why? Varys says, because the Queen is here. At that point, the camera pulls out of the small council chamber and pans out to show King's Landing. We hear people screaming. As the camera heads into Blackwater Bay, we see 93 ships looming over King's Landing. The camera quickly pans over all of them, and it gets to the last boat in the back, flying the sigil of House Targaryen. On its bow stands Daenerys, Jorah, Tyrion with a huge grin on his face, Grey Worm, and Missandei. Epic music playing, dragons flying above in the background. Season ends on that scene. So, yeah, guys. That is my vision for how I would write Season 6. So, yeah, everybody, that's all I have today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Share it if you like. Leave a comment. You guys are great commentators, and I love responding to your comments. And subscribe if you want to see more content. With that being said, just remember I am James Bushell, the Slayer of Lies, and the Dropper of Bombs. Proverbially, of course. And that's all I got, guys. Now, if I had a traditional mic, I would drop it. But I don't, so mic drop.